Hello, this is George Beyrouthi from FS Securities, a stockbroking firm on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. Today I'll show you how investors and traders can make money on our stock market. I will show you what is hot and what is not, and what you should hold and what you should fold. So enjoy the presentation and give us some feedback if you wish. First of all, let me tell you what happened overnight in the American market. The Dow was down 0.1%. However, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq were both up slightly. In Europe, the Stoxx 50 index, which comprises most major European markets, was down 0.4%. And in London, the FTSE was down 1%, in Germany down 0.4%. Australian shares appear set to open higher amid a mixed session on Wall Street. The Australian dollar, by the way, dropped quite, you can see here, down 0.5% to $70.92. And the futures were actually up 12 points about 6:30 a.m. Sydney time. Gold down 0.1% to 1,285, sorry here, 90. And the Brent oil was $61.08. The West Texas crude oil at $53.17. Gold, as I mentioned, was down $4.30. And silver was almost steady. The Australian dollar, as I mentioned, was 70.92 US cents. The volume on our market starting to increase. We've seen the highest volume in nearly 16 trading days. So it looks like the market is starting to resume the same momentum as before Christmas, where we had nearly 2 billion transactions where shares exchange hands. So slightly moving up. Yesterday we had 21% of the shares were up and 29% were down. Now in terms of our market, you can see that 5 weeks ago, around the Christmas period, there were a lot more red in here. That's 5 weeks ago. The last 2 weeks we started to see a lot more blue, and last week, this is actually the weekly forecast, we did that on the weekend, last weekend. We started to see that the market were, for the very aggressive trader, all bullish right through. For the investor, the long term, we saw that as being neutral. And for the conservative trader, material with BHP and Rio were actually the two companies that we actually predicted that this week would be positive. However, we've seen that BHP and Rio overnight in New York dropping quite a bit. So we may see that BHP and Rio at the end of this week being negative. In terms of what's happened in the market, what we like here is Woolworths. 5 weeks ago we told you that we liked Woolworths and we started to trade Woolworths. By the way, this week and actually today, we think it's time to take some profit out of Woolworths. Other market, maybe we can see also take some profit out of Newcrest Mines. We entered that trade about 5 weeks ago. Looking at the full spectrum here, we may actually do some trade today on BHP and Iron Condor. Being neutral, we like neutral situations with the Iron Condor strategy. Sometime this afternoon at 4 o'clock I will show you what we've traded during the day. So that's all from us here at FS Securities. Please be happy, trade well, and of course the disclaimer. And before you take any action, remember that I given you only general advice indications, and if you want to trade anything and we said today, please consult with us or with your professional advisor. And if you want to communicate with us, all you have to do is communicate with us via the following details. We are on the website www.fssecurities.com, or you can write to me directly, george@fssecurities.com.au. If you're calling from overseas, 61 first, don't do the 0, so it's 61-411-259526. You can call me almost 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. So all I can say now, have a good day and happy trading.